Okay. A lot of students have asked me to show them how to bring models from their computer into their slicing software, and also how to get models in general to 3D print. And so in this video, I will be teaching you how to do that. One thing to get out of the way before we start, in the bottom left of my screen, you will see an input display. That'll just show you what I'm clicking if you get lost. Um, with that out of the way, let's get started. So um, I'll start by showing you guys how to get something from Onshape onto your computer, and then also how to get a file from like a site and then onto your computer, and then I'll show you how to get those files from your storage into your Slicer software so that you can 3D print it. Um, as far as Onshape goes, there are two main ways to get your files from your workspace into your storage. So you could either do them individually. So if you go down here to parts, you'll notice that I have two parts of my workspace. I have this part and I have this part. If I just want one of them, I can go here, right click this. Let me show you again. Right click this. Go to export, left click that, and then it'll bring you to this, and then once you click export, it will download it. Now, you have to make sure that you are exporting in the correct units. You want the units here to match the units that you used in your software. For you guys, it's probably going to be inches because that is what I believe the default for Onshape is. I have my workspace set to millimeters, so obviously I will set this to millimeters. But once I do that, I just press export, and then it comes up here, and that means that I've successfully downloaded it. Now, um, if you have never downloaded anything from Onshape before, you will get a prompt like up here in this general area that asks if Onshape has permission to download things. You're just going to click yes. That'll give Onshape permission to download things, and that'll let it download. That'll let it download the part. If you want to download multiple parts at one time, let's say you want to download this entire package, you could go down to here, you would press export, and then you would do the same thing. Very simple. Okay. Now, if you want to get a different, like a model that is made by someone else that they have posted online to be downloaded, the simplest way to search for those is to type in the what you want, and then after it type STL. STL stands for stereolithography. You don't need to know that. It's the correct file type for 3D printing. If you have a .obj file, which is also very common, you will have to convert it to an STL file if you want to 3D print it. They are a little bit less common, so you won't have to worry about that, mostly. But moving on, let's say I want Warhammer terrain. I type Warhammer terrain, and then I type the letters STL after it, and then sorry, I accidentally went back. I'll type STL on it after it. Sorry, and then it'll bring me to the first page on Google will show me a bunch of different options that I have to find different 3D models to print. So one of the most common 3D model sharing sites is Cults 3D. It's this purple site right here. It's usually reliable. It's where I get a lot of my STLs. Do note that occasionally when you search for things, there will be a mix of paid and free models. I would encourage you to probably do the free ones because there's really no risk to it. And I don't think most of you should be paying for models. Yeah. But that's not the only sites. There's also Yegi. Yegi is also pretty reliable. It's the same type of site. It has a mix of paid and free models. And then the last one I would recommend is Etsy. If you're looking for something very specific and you can't find it on either of these two sites for free, Etsy is where artists usually go to sell things and run a business. Usually, everything on Etsy you have to pay for. Um, yeah, usually everything you have to pay for. So if you can't find it on either of these two sites, you can check Etsy, and if you can't find it there, then you might just have to make it yourself, unfortunately. But moving on, let's say we go to here. We go to Colts, and then we can browse through these models. You'll notice that some of them cost money, like this one costs $5.99, and some of them will be free, like this statue right here. If I click on this statue, um, you'll see that it has download and free. That just means, obviously, that I'll be able to download it without having to enter credit card information and having to pay for it. Note that you will have to sign in. You will have to make an account to access these. Um, it's very simple. You can just use your Google account, um, and it'll be a similar process to any other website. Then once you click download, it'll go up here, similar to how we did it with Onshape, and then you will then it'll be on your computer. Once it is on your computer, you're going to go to your Slicer software. Do note that I think most of you use this software, the Bamboo software. It does vary a little bit um, between different programs. So there's also the Prusa Slicer, which I've used before and is good, but it is a little bit different from this. There's also Cura, which is also a little bit different from this. But to start, we're going to create a new project. Once we do that, we'll have two options to import 3D models. One of them will just be to go up to here, press File, hover over Import, and then click this option. You can also click Control-I, like it said you could when you hovered over it. This will bring up your file explorer. You can just click as many as you want, or if you want to click multiple at once, you'll hold down Control. And if you want to like select everything in between this one and this one, you can hold down Shift and click. But once you do that, you can load it in. Now, if you're loading in multiple files, the Bamboo software will ask if you want to do a single object with multiple parts. Click No. If you load in a single object with multiple parts, they will all be linked together. I don't know if I can show you this properly because I think I loaded in a bunch of the same part, but let me delete file, import, go here. These are different parts. So if I open all three of these and I click yes, you'll notice that there's this wheel here and also the lid is attached still. And I can't separate them if I click out. They'll all just move as one object, which you don't want because like if all of these are touching while you're printing, then obviously they're going to be fused together and they're not going to be the proper separated parts that you want. So let me just delete this. I'm right-clicking to open this menu, by the way, when I'm hovering over the parts. That'll give you a couple options and can be useful to like duplicate a part if you want to print multiple of it. But yeah, just go back to here, do it again, open, and then this time I'm going to click no, and you'll see if I click out of this, I can separate these parts now. Hooray! Okay. The other way to do it is to just go down here and open up your file explorer yourself. I like this a bit more because typically whenever I'm doing all of this kind of stuff, I have my file explorer open anyways. It doesn't really matter which one you do, just choose one and use it. And then I can do the same thing. I can drag, or no, I do have one, like, it is a, you can also, instead of clicking the open button, once you click something, you can just click it and hold down left click to drag it into your workspace. There's no real reason to do that. I just do it because I remember it. It's just muscle memory. But you'll see, I can drag it in. It works just like the other one. Okay. Once you do that, you are good, and you can go to 3D print it, just like any other model. You'll press slice plate, and then if you're using this software and you have your printer connected to Wi-Fi, you can just press print plate, and it'll walk you through the steps to print it. Okay.